The untold story of Canada's 30,000 missing deportees. A system under strain. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Today, we're uncovering a shocking issue that's flying under the radar. Nearly 30,000 deportees in Canada have disappeared, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and serious concerns. These are individuals who were ordered to leave the country but have effectively vanished. What happened, and what does this mean for Canada's immigration system, public safety, and trust in government policies? Stay tuned as we break down the numbers, reveal the hidden challenges, and explore the human stories behind this staggering statistic. And don't miss the deep dive into the missing deportees and their impact on Canada's immigration system, where we'll unravel how this crisis shapes communities, resources, and the country's reputation. If you care about understanding the real challenges facing Canada today, make sure to watch until the end for valuable insights into what's being done and what solutions could turn this situation around. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another important story from Canada Chronicles. Let's get started. A nation's silent crisis. Canada has earned a global reputation as a country that champions diversity, compassion, and opportunity. Its immigration system, often hailed as one of the most structured and humane in the world, invites thousands of newcomers every year, shaping a multicultural society. Yet, beneath this surface of optimism and inclusion lies a systemic issue that threatens the integrity of Canada's immigration framework. Nearly 30,000 individuals who have been ordered deported remain unaccounted for, effectively vanishing into the shadows. This startling revelation isn't just a bureaucratic failure, it's a problem with broad implications. These individuals, despite having been issued final removal orders, have evaded authorities, raising concerns about public safety, resource allocation, and the effectiveness of immigration enforcement. With such a significant number of cases unresolved, the issue transcends simple oversight. It demands attention to systemic shortcomings and the ripple effects on Canadian society. Unveiling the numbers. The numbers are as overwhelming as they are troubling. According to the Canada Border Services Agency, 29,731 individuals who received deportation orders have gone missing. These cases include asylum seekers whose claims were denied, individuals who overstayed their visas, and even those with criminal records who may pose risks to public safety. Ontario stands as the epicenter of this crisis, with over 21,000 cases. This isn't surprising given the province's size and its role as a key destination for immigrants. Ontario's sprawling metropolitan areas and diverse immigrant communities create environments where individuals can easily evade detection, complicating enforcement efforts. Quebec follows with approximately 6,000 cases, reflecting the province's distinct immigration policies and its significant number of refugee claims. British Columbia, with nearly 1,400 cases, highlights the challenges of a major entry point into the country. Alberta, while reporting fewer cases at around 700, still faces its share of this national issue. The numbers alone paint a troubling picture, but they don't reveal the full complexity of the issue. Behind each missing deportee lies a unique story and a web of challenges that expose the cracks in Canada's immigration system. How did this happen? The disappearance of nearly 30,000 deportees is not a sudden development. It is the result of systemic inefficiencies and challenges that have compounded over time. Several factors contribute to this alarming situation. One major issue is the limited resources of the Canada Border Services Agency. Tasked with enforcing deportation orders, the agency is stretched thin, relying on outdated systems and an overwhelmed workforce. The sheer volume of cases has created a backlog that leaves little room for effective follow-ups. The lack of resources has made it nearly impossible to locate and remove individuals who fail to comply with their deportation orders. Canada's reliance on a voluntary compliance system also exacerbates the problem. Under this system, individuals with deportation orders are expected to leave the country on their own. While this works in some cases, it often fails to account for those who simply refuse to comply, knowing the chances of being located are minimal. Many missing deportees find support within their communities, relying on family, friends, or social networks to evade detection. Some even create alternative identities or work in industries where cash payments are common, such as agriculture, construction, or caregiving. These tactics make it increasingly difficult for authorities to track them. Diplomatic challenges further hinder enforcement. Deporting individuals requires cooperation from their home countries, which includes issuing travel documents and agreeing to accept deportees back. In many instances, countries delay or refuse this cooperation, leaving individuals in limbo and weakening Canada's ability to enforce its policies. Lastly, legal complexities create additional barriers. Canada's laws allow individuals to appeal deportation orders on humanitarian or compassionate grounds. While this reflects the country's commitment to fairness, it also opens the door to delays that can stretch for years, giving individuals ample time to disappear. The missing deportees and their impact on Canada's immigration system. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. Now, let's dive deeper into the core issue. The missing deportees and their impact on Canada's immigration system. These nearly 30,000 missing deportees aren't just numbers, they are real people with complex stories. Many are rejected asylum seekers who chose to stay in Canada after their claims were denied. For them, the fear of returning to their home countries outweighs the risk of living as undocumented individuals. They often find themselves working in exploitative conditions, unable to access basic rights or protections. Another significant group includes temporary residents who overstayed their visas. These include international students and foreign workers who entered Canada legally but failed to leave when their permits expired. Industries like hospitality, agriculture, and construction, which rely heavily on temporary foreign workers and permanent residents, often provide avenues for these individuals to remain under the radar. Finally, there are those with criminal records. Although they are not the majority, these cases raise serious concerns about public safety. When deportation orders for these individuals are not enforced, it undermines trust in the system and poses potential risks to communities. These stories demonstrate how Canada's immigration system impacts not just the deportees but also the communities they interact with, highlighting the need for meaningful reform. Why this matters. The implications of missing deportees extend far beyond immigration enforcement. This issue touches on multiple aspects of Canadian society. Public safety is a pressing concern. While not all deportees pose a threat, the presence of individuals with criminal records among the missing raises valid questions about community security. The erosion of trust in Canada's immigration system is another significant consequence. Canadians value fairness and balance in immigration policies, but when nearly 30,000 deportees evade removal, it creates a perception of systemic inefficiency. Undocumented individuals also strain public resources, often relying on essential services like healthcare and housing. This places an additional burden on already stretched budgets, particularly in provinces like Ontario and Quebec. Internationally, Canada's inability to enforce deportation orders reflects poorly on its diplomatic relationships. When countries of origin refuse to cooperate, it exposes weaknesses in global accountability and collaboration. Lastly, there are humanitarian concerns. Many missing deportees live in precarious and vulnerable conditions, facing uncertainty and exploitation. This underscores the need for reforms that balance enforcement with compassion. What is being done? In response to mounting criticism, the Canadian government and the Canada Border Services Agency have taken steps to address the crisis. The government has increased funding to the agency, allowing for more officers and investments in modern technologies to enhance tracking and enforcement. Advanced surveillance tools, such as data analytics and facial recognition, are being implemented to close gaps in the system. Stricter visa policies have been introduced to prevent overstays. These measures include enhanced background checks and closer monitoring of temporary residents. Public awareness campaigns aim to educate potential asylum seekers about the challenges of making refugee claims in Canada, reducing the number of invalid claims. Efforts to strengthen international collaboration are also underway, with Canada negotiating better agreements with countries of origin to ensure deportation orders are enforced effectively. Solutions for a system under strain. While these measures represent progress, more comprehensive solutions are necessary. Electronic monitoring could ensure compliance with deportation orders while protecting individual rights. Streamlining legal processes to reduce delays in appeals would prevent cases from lingering for years. Collaboration with community organizations could encourage voluntary compliance with deportation orders, easing the strain on enforcement agencies. Addressing the root causes of migration, such as poverty and conflict in source countries, would reduce the pressure on Canada's immigration system. Finally, improving transparency and accountability would help rebuild public trust in the system. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into one of Canada's most pressing immigration issues. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who care about the future of Canada's immigration system. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from Canada Chronicles. We'll be back soon with more stories that matter. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and take care.